I'm going to show you how you can turn and make $1 million in the next 2 years. I'm going to do it right now. Hey everybody, it's G. Kelly Dixon here. Listen, one question I get asked a lot is, what's the best strategy to get into right now? It's 2020. And by far, this is like one of the best markets I've seen since 2006. The reason I'm saying that is because there's a ton of money out there right now. Financing is so easy to get into right now. Real estate is about to really take off. And I'm going to give you a couple words that I want you to remember. In 2006 and 7, some of you may be not old enough to remember what happened during that time frame, but obviously we went through one of the worst real estate crises really in history. We almost went into a depression. What happened was that financing was so easy. And I want you guys to take this and I want you to understand real estate and why right now is like the perfect time to kind of jump in. We've been on a 10-year upward swing. Real estate prices, the economy, this is very abnormal. Even though interest rates are kind of been up and down, interest rates have remained historically low. What this means is that debt is very cheap. You even have Trump talking about moving interest rates to the negative side. That's a whole another chapter. Not only is financing easy, interest rates are extremely low. This is going to create a very, very strong environment, and it's going to put upward pressure on pricing. See, the one thing about real estate that you have to understand is how it works. Real estate pricing should be very simple. If we take this as a demand curve, we're going to do we put supply here and we're going to put demand here. This equals pricing, right? We understand that if the higher demand goes and the less supply there is, prices are going to go up. If there is a ton of supply and very little demand, pricing goes down. That's just simple economics. That's 101. Here's where it gets very interesting. If it was just this that we had to monitor, everybody would be a millionaire in real estate. It'd be very easy to predict. We have population growth, which is demand, and we have housing inventory, which is supply. We can easily predict where housing is going. The thing that offsets this and makes it very difficult, and I'll put this in blue, is this thing right here. This is called financing. And this is how the line looks now with financing. What happens is when there's very little financing, guess what happens? Real estate prices go down. This is where pricing should be. That's the demand. But if nobody can buy a loan, then prices are going to go down. If everybody can get a loan, prices is going to go up. Now, obviously, this trend, when banks aren't lending and banks do lend, eventually they realize they overextended and they stop lending again and prices start going back down. We've been going up in this phase for over 10 years now, which is historically abnormal. And guess what? It's going to continue. Why am I saying this is a very good time to get in? There's this new loan. In 2006, it was subprime and a lot of people made a lot of money. Now we have what's called non-QM loans. If you don't know about them, Google them. Non-qualified mortgages. This is the new subprime. These loans, no documentation, no income. They don't care what you make. They only care about the property. No income, or I'm going to say low doc. Very limited documentation. This is the new subprime. The beautiful part is that the market hasn't caught on fire yet. We're still in the infancy stages of this type of loan. So in 18, we had about 20 billion in issuance. In 19, we jumped to about 100 billion. Excuse my spelling. All right. In 2000, we're expected to be between 200 and 300 billion. The growth is rapid. So with the amount of money that's available in the space, and if you look at my next diagram, what do you think is going to happen to real estate pricing? Yes. So I'm going to show you how you can turn and make $1 million in the next 2 years. I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. I want you to choose a market that makes sense, where you can get properties at below market value. Now, the no-doc loans All they care about is rental income, okay? Can the rent pay the mortgage? So you got to get good at finding below market or below value property. And I can show you how to do that. That's another video. When we look at it, if we can buy a property for, let's say, $50,000 that needs repairs, and we could put $25,000 into it, and this property is now worth $150,000. How much did we spend? We spent $75,000. Very good. This property, guess how much it cost us to get into this? It cost $7,500 plus closing costs. Now, once this property is done, we're not going to sell it. We're going to rent it. We want to make sure that we're taking $200 to $300 per month in our pocket. We don't want to go much higher than that. We want some cushion here. We don't want to be at $50 a month. Pay attention. So what's that? $7,500. That's the 10% down payment that we need in order to do this loan. We have closing costs as well. We're not going to forget about that. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Just want to keep the math simple. Now, if we can do this times 10, we have a total debt of $750,000, and we'd have a total value of $1,500,000. Okay, so we'd have equity in the form of $750,000 in equity. At the same time, we'd be collecting anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month in rent. Okay, now it gets better. Now that we have this, what we can do is we can go, hey bank, we want to refinance. And we can refinance up to 80%, okay? Let me say that again. Up to 80%. At 80%, that would give us a total loan amount of $1.2 million. And my math may be off. So at $1.2 million, we pay off the $750,000. We got a $1.2 million loan. And again, this is all asset based. They don't care about your income. They don't care about your credit. They do care about your credit for the interest rate. Apologize. And the LTV. That's another discussion though. You can go as low as 620 to do this. Okay, as low as 620. And if you can't get to 620, I want you to watch my credit video and I'll show you how to get there. So with this, we get to pull out a total of $450,000 tax free. Okay, we got $450,000 tax free. Okay, and we can do this if we can buy one property a month. Over 2 years, that's one property every 2 months. Again, we're not selling the properties, we're renting. And even if you get it wrong a couple of times, guess what? In 2 years, you can still make this happen. So you're pulling out $450,000 tax free. Why is it tax free? Because you're not selling. It's not a sale. This is a loan. Okay? Now, when you get this money, please do not buy cars, do not buy jewelry, do not buy a bigger house for yourself. What you're going to do, you're going to buy more property. If you can figure out one property a month for the next 2 years, you're going to own $1 million in property. You're going to have $450,000, and you can either buy more small property, or you can buy an apartment building, or a hotel, or whatever else you decide to do. Just make sure you invest it. Don't have a party. We're gonna take out of this 450. We're gonna take 50,000. I want you to just put it in the bank somewhere. Don't even think about it. Throw it in a CD, a mutual fund. Just don't even think about it. Why? Because you want to make sure that you have cushion in case any of these properties need repair. You have to evict people. You want to make sure that those mortgages are getting paid. And the beautiful part is you have the mortgages. The people that are renting these properties, they're the ones paying back your loan. You're not even paying back yourself. These people that you're renting to, they're the ones paying back your loan. With this strategy, if you can double it or triple it, you can be a millionaire in no time with poor credit and not a lot of money. So there you have it, from nothing to 1 million in 2 years. G. Kelly Dixon.